Hi everyone, it's Ayesha from godfm, and I want to talk about the setup for the whole sort of program that's happening across the world with modifying everything, water, air, and it, obviously if you're targeted individual, the program around that, okay? So I want to do this in a way that will be able to explain it, but without also naming names and putting myself into a situation where everything's banned from being published. Okay, so the scenario is this. Imagine in 1954, 45, 1984, 1948, there was a group of people who claimed to be children of God, and then they claimed a piece of land and said that this was to fulfill prophecy of the Bible. And then, but secretly in the background, they've been buying up everything, taking control of banking and the infrastructures of all countries, and basically infiltrating and having great financial influence and power within each organization of government and the infrastructure that forms the countries, including but not limited to the internet, the medical world, schooling, media, banking, electric, gas, water, every type of supply, internet, phones, the whole shebang. And now also draw into that scenario designing of the appliances and the smart technology with Intel special chips and smart Bluetooth technology integrated with, but not limited to, injections, medical applies, medical insertions or anything that you use. Now also build into that ink that has nano in it on everything, and also barcodes, which is this weird barcode that we've now got, QR code. Now also build into it a infrastructure that is a physical infrastructure, but non-physical. This is a internet of bodies, and it's also an internet of houses, an internet of business, it's an internet of banking, and it's an internet of operations. And this is incorporated into the smart technology, smart, which is a tram backwards, taking you from one place and one reality to another, with drains and 5G, but also with water and gas and the smart meters, then your chips on your cars, and then your banking cards, your phones, the telephone networks. And so this is I'm just trying to put it all over. So shut everything down, tell everybody there's a pandemic, keep them in the houses, map out the houses and the infrastructure with that technology we've been integrating into the world for quite some time. Map out the maps of each house, but also because people are at home, we're going to map out each individual and we're going to link it to their social media and any emails and banking and anything to do with their phones and devices is what they really want, so that they can basically replicate everything about you into the metaverse, build this world of the metaverse, and then the only thing to take really is your mind. So the whole lockdown was to incorporate the final infrastructure, if you like, of the beast system, the image of the beast. Why is it the image? Because when you wipe a computer and you reinstall the operating system, you do it via an image. And the image is like a backup. It's like everything encoded into this image, right? You can do this with a USB onto a computer and then reinstall Windows, right? Now, the guy who designed Windows is Mr. Bill Gates, but he's also the guy who created the vaccines and Bluetooth and viruses, right? So this is also but tied into it all. And the guys who run all the social medias are also all connected to Bill Gates and all of his brothers and sisters and his buddies, and the banking, because these guys are integral to ensuring the integration and the whole infrastructure running smoothly on the internet. But it's not an internet that you know about. It's an internet that sits right next to your internet, but it is not publicly disclosed or marketed in that way. And it's also like a duplicate of your phone, your number. And this world of the metaverse is like a duplicate. Okay. So in order for them to operate everything's a duplicate in this other world, non-reality. Okay, so the image thing. Okay, so to explain it, God, first he had to think it, then he wrote it in ink, then he spoke it, then it became an image, and then it became real. Okay, well, so the devil, there's a couple of things he can't do, right? God can read your mind and your heart, but the devil can't, right? But the devil said he would. And the final system, as in the beast system, is that. So we can read your mind, control your mind as a hive mind, and create a mind by uploading all the minds of the people into this infrastructure. All right. Bluetooth. Anyone who has the injections get a Bluetooth address, but also they become transmitters and they infect, if you like, parties around them. It's like a virus and it spreads. If you've got an infected phone, the same. It infects the other devices around it if they've got the infection on the phone, right? Okay. So now we've got the data farms, and this is about water and the flood. So the Revelation tells me that the beast goes after the woman with a flood of water. Now we've got in the Bible, according to the Lord, when you're saved and resurrected from the dead through the blood of the Lamb, as in Jesus Christ, you are raised from the dead. Now we're born into a world of the dead. This is the world of the dead. The devil is dead, lived backwards. And with Adam and Eve, when God said, if you eat from that tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall surely die. And surely we did. We now became entrapped in a physical body, which is like a prison, and we die. The world is all about death, because the devil runs the world, but nothing lives here. That's why we're temporary residents if we're saved by the blood. We are resurrected from that death state into the living, back into the image of God, and we, as long as we follow God's will, then we will be able to execute his will. Jesus had to die on the cross so that we could claim the inheritance, because you can't claim an inheritance from someone who's not dead yet. That's why he had to die, to complete that cycle of death, but for all of us, so that we don't have to die. He died, right? It's hard to explain it. All right. So then what we've got now is the same people who have put this whole infrastructure together and pretended to be God's children have got a lot of power, and they duplicate everything. So they basically have their hands in everything. And if they want to go after someone, because of the Bill Gates setup, which is Teams, Word, Microsoft Word, God is the Word, but we've got Mr. Bill Gates who's also created a Word, right? Getting an idea of who he is now. So this system is basically a data farm, farming your data with the water. The water has memory, so it's also a circuit board, and it goes round and round. Your poo and wee shouldn't go down the loo, because it's actually quite valuable. And the plants and things, and the trees, they also don't feed them any nutrients of compost, if you like, because the doggies' poos and things are all put into the bins, so fertilizing of plants is not happening, right? Okay, basics. If water has memory, then your urine will have memory. Okay. By putting the stuff in the air, you're breathing it in, and you're eating it, and you're breathing it, but it's also going in your eyes, and it's going in your ears, and it's forming its own little network, right, inside you as well. And this is all built into the phone, which is an interface to the data farms of the water, which has been farmed around, and the data centers basically suck the life out of the water, and anything around it as well. The water around it will also go all brown and have no nutrients anymore, but it also lets off a pulsing noise, which really affects people. So this is a problem. So there was something I wanted to really explain. What was it? Hopefully it'll pop in my head in a moment. Oh yes, all right. So if you're a targeted individual, they want to basically get into your phone. When they get into your phone, you think, oh gosh, they've got into my phone, I better sign out of iCloud and not use my phone and all this kind of nonsense, right? And in you doing this, you're basically saying, oh no, they've got in my phone. And they go, oh yeah, we have now. Because you think so. Because this is about real and not real. This is about believing and not believing as well. And the devil is all about spelling mistakes and not real. So computers are not real. The images of films are not real, but they look real. So that's where the devil's really good at this kind of thing. So with your phone, when this first started, twice now, in 2015 and 2023, each time I was like, oh no, I've been hacked, and I then came out of my iCloud and started trying to back up things, not back up things, but just keep things on the phone and get rid of anything that might be a corrupt file and all this other stuff. And that's when the problems started in each case. But when I identified now that what it is it's all in your mind as well, about whether you believe that this is happening, because it's a spell and it's witchcraft. It's combined with spells and witchcraft. If you don't believe it, then it cannot affect you, right? So it's about praying and believing in the living and what's real and what's true. And if you believe that a lie, that they can get into everything, then they can. Because the lie now has got life, which you've given it, if you like, because you believed it. So now you must try not to believe that your phone can be hacked. You must believe that God can protect your phone. you need an iCloud account. If you've got an iPhone, okay, but you can do this for any phone. Get an iCloud account. Create it with, you have 2 or 3 numbers, and 2 or 3 phones. Back up your phones. Go through the settings under the touch and all that, and tidy up the touch settings, the voice activation, and get rid of Siri on everything. And back up your phone. Pay for backup. Put on the private relay if you can, and put the phone in lockdown mode if you can. Don't use facial recognition or fingerprint ID because they will change it. They set up a virtual next to copy of everything, and you want to make sure that you're in the real thing all the time. So backing up your phone is very good, and if your phone is behaving weird, wipe the damn thing and back it up from the backup on iCloud, not with a computer. But you can do it with a computer. If you have a computer, they'll be in your computer. So basically, you want to go through the computer, and you want to put in the wrong details for the Wi-Fi several times so that the Wi-Fi is not remembered, that kind of thing. And Bluetooth, you want to just sort of disable that. Okay. Router, the same. You need to go into your router and you want to turn off UPS, I think it is, USPS or something, and then WPS, and you want it on the strongest, and you want to change the admin password. If you don't know how to do this, then just watch some videos on YouTube on how to reset your router. Once you've done one, you can do them all. Really, I promise you, it's very easy. But even if you don't know what you're doing, right, just go and try it. I promise you it won't bite you. It's actually quite fun. And try and reset your router. Okay? Like for me, I've got a new phone. I got it last week and set it up. And God said to me, just put your SIM cards in the phone. Start acting normal. Stop worrying about all this nonsense. And create your iCloud accounts, back up everything. And I wasn't sure why, and now I know why. Because the new phone that I bought, someone sent me some images and links, and since then my phone got infected, and the brain interface appeared again, and I had backache, neckache, bum ache, and all sorts last night. And I was like, oh, they must be in the phone again. So I was like, oh no, Lord, what am I going to do now? And the Lord said, well, what you do is wipe the phone and back it up from the backup to you. When they're in your phone, they're not really in your iCloud. They're not really in the passwords. They're not really getting a copy of everything in the same way that you think. So they haven't got control of your device. They've got a sort of a veil, which they put over the phone, and then you think that they have, but they haven't really, okay? And you must believe me. All right. And if your phone behaves funny, that's what you do, right? You basically back up, make sure you've got your backups, and if necessary, pay for a backup facility. It's not expensive. Back up your phone, wipe your phone, and then reset up your phone. That's what I do. That's what the Lord tells me to do. I don't back up photos, only because I don't need to, and I actually keep my phone quite clean. I upload my videos with all the content and the evidence of what's been happening to me, and then I delete the videos and the photos from my phone because I like a clean phone. If anybody sends you photos on your phone, then, and you might notice your phone behaves funny, then it's time to do what I've just said. Try it and see how you get on. Okay. Now, I had a phone before, an iPhone 12, yeah, and it was doing all the stuff that my phone's been doing, and I backed it up, and everything was fine. So it's really only when you start to believe that they have got the power to do this. When you believe they can't, then they can't. Okay. Radios are a problem. I have found Bluetooth speakers are a problem. I have found. In the beginning, I found radios helpful because it upset their frequencies, but now they seem to target and home into the frequencies and try and link it all up with that. But trial and error. Get a couple of little radios and try it. Like I like Classic FM, so then they just home into Classic FM and then synchronize everything. So I have the radio off sometimes and then I have it on. It seems to be all linked into smart appliances, washing machines and fridges. So I'd suggest plugging those into extension leads into different plug sockets and then unplug them when you're not using them. Fridges only need to be on for a few hours a day to stay cold. Save yourself some money. And puffed rice, very, very good for your body. Rosemary oil, just a bit of rosemary and some oil with some water in a little jar. Or a pump type device, for cream. Use it as a lotion. This will help you. I have found making this rosemary oil and making some little sponges from the kitchen sponges and popping that in my nostrils and in my ears. Once the rosemary is fermented, quite strong, somehow connects in the brain and cleans that all out, because I don't know what we're breathing, but I'm having problems with it. If you look at this a bit like dust mites, the way I explained it to the plumber yesterday, who is also having problems with ringing and things, is that some people are allergic to bees and some people are allergic to, animals because they get a reaction. Bill Gates has done these ticks so that we become allergic to beef. So there's all sorts of weird things happening, and some of us have allergies and reactions to it. The way to think of it is that we're allergic, if you like, to nano, and we're allergic to the dust mites that are associated with it. And it's dust and mites and stuff. So you can take hay fever tablets, the ones for dust mites, that really helps you. Cannabis oil also really helps you. Just so you know. Rinsing your eyes out with salt water, very good. So you want to make sure you're quite picky on your salt, right? You don't want this cheap salt. Get some nice salt. I think in the pound shop it's £1 now for one of these grinders. Just grab one of those. And make sure it's a grinding salt that the lid can't be taken off. This is for targeted individuals, so they can't mess with your salt. So they put washing powder in the salt. Mm-hmm. So put a little bit in a mug with some salt, with some water. Let it dissolve, and then rinse your eyes with salt water once a day. This will help you. And you can also gurgle on it and also sort of get it so that it goes up your nostrils a bit. So that, like if you're going swimming and you've got water in those areas. This will help you too. Damascus earth, I recommend. And basically you have to clean because there's this yellow sticky stuff. They've got the yellow sticky stuff and it makes things old and dirty. So you basically want to make yourself up some spray cleaning stuff. And you want to pick a product that gets rid of this stuff. Windows and frames always get this yellow sticky stuff, and I noticed they've got it on my fridge and it's so yellow, it's stained. and I can't get it off. It's like an acid. So I was talking to my plumber about it, and I said, oh, there's this funny stuff everywhere. And he went, yeah, I said, have you got this yellow stuff? He said, what yellow stuff? I said, well, it's like yellow sticky stuff. He said, yeah, in my bathroom. I said, okay, that's this stuff. And I think it crawls up the drains and whatever, and also through the water. So you want to filter your water, and you want to filter the drains. You want to make sure your plugs are in, because the stuff comes through the drains, I think, and through the water. You don't want to drink straight tap water, and you certainly don't want to expose your body to it. So you probably want to put filters on your taps and water. Can't afford a filter? Get a sock. If you shower, then you might have to adapt it slightly so that it's going to not be as nice, but it's filtered through a sock or something, because this stuff gets everywhere, and it's tiny. It can grow the length of an arm when activated by lights. The lights are also connected to this. Basically, you want to have a good scrub, so you want to get yourself a body scrubbing brush, okay, and bleach mixed in with some other products, just a bit of bleach in a spray bottle, and bleach your body off and sponge it off and scrub it with this scrubbing brush in your shower before you actually wash yourself. So you're going to give yourself a good scrub, and then you're going to wash yourself as normal. This will help you as well, because this stuff is skin contact. I have noticed my feet get boiled by whatever this is, and so I found scrubbing my feet seems to help me. May help you. What brush can you use? Well, I like the old-fashioned hard brush you can buy. But kitchen brushes, you can buy quite a few different types. You want to buy something that's got nice hard bristles, and you want to scrub yourself real hard with this brush. And you want to also do your head. Even if you have hair and long hair, you want to spray this up and clean yourself and scrub behind your ears, all over your ears. At least once a week, regularly, I recommend that you do that. And basically, you want to keep this stuff off you. If you've got helicopters flying over your house, this is them synchronizing everything, and I recommend you get yourself a radiation cap. You can buy them cheaply. Just wear it when the helicopter comes, put it on your head. Then take it off when they've gone. You don't have to have it all the time. Get yourself a fishing magnet. And they're round. They're about the size of my palm of my hand, maybe a bit bigger. And the ones with the two little loops on, they're brilliant, because you can hold them in your hand and use that on the back of your phone if your phone's behaving funny. But also, you want to get a few of these. Have always one on you in your car, and also massage your back and your body and your head with one of these nice big magnets. 350 kilo pickup to 500 kilo. They're called fishing magnets. They're about 20 pounds. Some are more, 24, 30 pounds. You want to buy a genuine one, because you get a lot of fake ones. And sometimes they come with rope, and then you can go around with it and stick it in the lake and see what you can find in there as well. It's quite fun. But definitely you want to reset your brain. do all of this with magnets. And what else can they do, Lord? You want to do detoxing, okay, quite regularly. Garlic enemas, look up what that is. And rosemary oil for your body, salts for your body. You can get those salt scrubs. Recommend you get that for washing yourself. And don't buy cheap toothpaste. Think of yourself as you've got sensitive teeth. Get yourself Sensodyne or something like this. You can also make your own toothpaste, but I recommend you be very careful what you use on your teeth. And the berries from the trees for the birds, I found this to be a great ointment against nanobites. Yeah, really good. So what you do is you just get some from the bushes and mash them up into a jar. Add some hot water and salt. Mash it into a paste and then add some cooking oil to the top to seal it. And then it won't go off. And then you can always have a little bit of this as an ointment. Very nice. Stinging nettles are very good for you. Get them and cook them and eat them. But don't use the stems, and cut out the stems in the leaves also. Otherwise it's horrible. And it's very nice in a curry or tomato, salty tomato relish, right? Think of it like a spinach, but you want to take out all the stemmy bits because otherwise it's horrible. And also, if you live near the sea, get yourself some bottles and have some seawater and wash yourself in the seawater and wash your eyes with it. Certainly you want a bottle of it, wash your eyes with, very nice. And seaweed is also good for you to eat. So that I recommend. Okay, so basically, if I want to wipe my phone, I can then reinstall my phone from another phone right next to it. And this will install onto my phone everything from the other phone. And this is kind of what they're doing with people, transferring minds and consciousnesses from one to the other. All the celebrities are inverted and the wrong way round. So Michael Jackson is a woman, Madonna is a man, this kind of thing. They've sold their souls and then they are copied. Their consciousness is transferred to a clone. This is what they're trying to do to you. Okay. So magnets. Magnets are very nice. And if there's certain areas that you're sensitive with, like me, private areas, it's because the toilet is a problem. Really, if you're targeted, this is a problem, but not for everyone. So you might need a compost toilet or something else instead to use to go to the toilet. Otherwise, you could have problems. I don't have all the answers. And you want to bleach yourself and bleach your toilet if you're going to use your toilet every single time you use it. And the bathroom the same. You're going to have to wash your bath with bleach every time you bath, before you bath and after you bath. And these things will help you in your everyday. If you wear shoes, they'll put the stuff in your shoes. So if you keep shoes and want to wear a new pair of shoes, and then you need to clean them as if someone's put some stuff in them every time. And you just want to be mega clean with cleaning to get this yellow gooey stuff. It's like a blue stain, looks a bit moldy, and this grows, I think, as well. So you want to be cleaning. What you can do for your ceiling is you get one of those floor mops. They're flat, and you make some bleachy hot water and some cleaning solution, and you can clean your ceilings and walls with this as well. This will help you. So that way you don't have to get up and try and scrub it. I do it with a cloth, and I just go around with a stool and I clean the ceilings. I wash the walls. And I also always have a little tub of paint to touch up little areas. Under the cooker, there's the vents, and they get really dirty. You want to get some spray detergent, cleaning stuff, and spray it regularly. Cover your hob, if it's gas, with the African way, with a big tea towel when you're not using it, to keep it clean, and things like this. All right, and switch off your electricity if you want to sleep well. And try that as well, okay? Sometimes switching off the water as well helps too. Alright, so I'm just giving you some tips. We've got to do something about the data farms. They're going to be robbing us of all the water. That's the biggest problem right now. So I recommend you try that, okay? Just make sure that you're telling everyone about what's happening. Waking up as many people as possible, because we're all on this train ride together. I've got a front row seat, so if you're a targeted individual. So we have to tell everyone else, because we woke up. Like I was saying to someone yesterday, I thought once you've woken up, you can't unwake up. So we're awake now. All right. But when I phoned the police yesterday because I've got Pegasus on my phone and Stingray, and they were just so unhelpful, and they just deny it's possible. And they were like, well, have you got the Israeli government putting Pegasus on your phone? I went, yeah, I have. That's right. So basically we've got an infiltration. These guys masquerade as high up government officials, and they recruit people in, and they pay people off, and they get people to sign a non-disclosure agreement, and then they do things to people who oppose the system that they want to bring in. Okay? They have endless finances and money, and it isn't so unbelievable. The people who pretend to be God's children doing this to the real children of God. It's been their plan all along. All right? So yeah, I hope that helps you. It's Ayesha from godfm. If you want to find me, you can find me on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Chrome, YouTube, Apple, X, as well as TikTok and Telegram as godfm News, godfm New, godfm Radio, godfm Group, and godfm Media. Have a good day. Take care.